friends, happy Thursday. We are here today again to do another painting project. So go ahead and grab a big enough piece of paper for you to paint on and grab your paints, a pencil to trace, and come meet me right back over here and we will get started together. So the first thing that we are going to need to do for this art project is mix our colors. I have already done that off camera, and I have what I need to paint my handprint spring tree. So I have two browns. Those kind of just turned out different colors, and that's okay. I'm just gonna keep them that way, add more texture. I have a regular green, I have a light green, which I mixed some white into a regular green to create that. I made a dark green with regular green and a little bit of black. Always remember when you're mixing paints that the dark color you don't really need that much of. If you're making a darker green, you want most of your palette to be covered in green before you add a few dots of black to darken it a little bit. Now I have red mixed with a lot of white, so it could make a pinkish color for any flowers that I'm going to put on my spring tree. Now, to start off with, I'm going to grab something to trace my hand. I have a big piece of construction paper here. This is actually, you can see that now that I lift it up, this is actually two regular pieces of construction paper glued together because I didn't have anything long enough for my hand or my arm. So I am going to spread my hand out like that. I'm going to trace from the bottom of my arm where it comes off the page and just go up and around and lightly trace your fingers. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's going to be covered in paint. Alright, so let's try to focus a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. I have my hands already traced onto my paper. I did it pretty light so that I didn't have to worry about erasing any that poked through my brown paint. Bring you a little bit closer just so you can kind of see what's going on there. My wrist is at the bottom and my fingers are spread open at the top so we can pretend that this is a tree or a tree trunk and branches kind of going out at the top. So I have my paintbrush here. I'm gonna stick my paint on top of something because I just know myself, I'm clumsy. So I'm gonna get a little bit of paint and just start painting the outside of my hand. So now that I have my hand all painted in the shape and color of a tree trunk and branches at the top, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Q-tips that I'm going to use for my pointillism part of this. I have one for each of my colors here. I have one for my green. I'm going to start with my regular green. And I am just going to start let's figure out the way we want to do this. I want to do mine in a circle going outward, so I'm just going to start I'm going to pull this back just a little bit so you can see it, and I'm going to grab my one last clean Q-tip and I'm going to dip it in the pink. I'm going to find some spots where I didn't completely cover it with green dots for the tree and kind of put these in there to look like flowers. Now, if your pointillism is pretty close together and that's kind of how you do pointillism, then you can go ahead and do these dots in the middle of your tree while you're doing your green. I think it might be a lot easier to do it while you're doing your green dots so that you don't come up with no places for your flowers. Hey, we can't, like, can I just, like, finish my video?
Yeah. We're looking at the paper, wallpaper, but he's just pepper. What?
Yeah, put some clothes on. It's cold outside. Oh. And I'm like, right, can you just wait a second, please, and read and do some schoolwork while I'm finishing my video, please? I've had, like, way too many distractions going on. Now I'm just picking random spots that I've seen that are pretty open from my green points. I have a lot of spaces, so I'm just covering those spaces with my pink. You can use whatever color you want. Flowers can come up in every color, so whatever color you have handy you can use. If you would like to use a different color other than pink. Alrighty guys, I think I have reached a stopping point. I could probably add flowers to my tree all day. I'm just gonna add some pointillism grass and greenery down below so it's not looking too bare. All right, friends, this is my finished product here. I'm going to bring the camera closer so you can see all the bottom of the page. It looks like from my point of view. You can see the flowers down below. This is gonna happen from time to time. You're gonna your paper's gonna slip from you and it's just gonna make a bigger dot than you would like it to. That happened kind of all over my paper, but looking pretty good, looking like a spring tree. All right guys, I hope you had fun making this pointillism spring tree with me. Go ahead and use your imaginations. You can add some clouds, some blue in the background. You can add a sun. Get creative with it. This is an outside scenery, so the limits are pretty endless with this one. So I would like to see some pictures. I saw Allie Barkis's pointillism the other day and that looked super great. Go ahead and keep going, guys. Keep up the great work and I will see you tomorrow.